Our text does a great job of going over in the very kind of the end of the chapter about going over the CEC Code of Ethics as applied to the Andrew F. case. I won't give you more application information in that direction because I think our text did a really good job of it. But I do want to extend that a little bit and talk about the larger piece of application behind CEC, or the Council for Exceptional Children. I'm hoping that this isn't the first time you've heard of CEC. CEC is the national organization for special education professionals, and we have a Michigan CEC also. I'd like you to go to their website that is linked at the top of this slide, and I want you to take a look at two parts, and then I'm going to put in a little bit of, I'm going to take advantage and a little bit of unabashed praise here. The two parts that I feel like are most directly an application of this week's content and topic are the standards and policy and advocacy. First, under the standards, you'll not only find the Code of Ethics, but you will find all of the standards that we as higher education professionals and teacher trainers must follow in order to have good professionals and teachers in front of our students every day. So take a look there, and I find it a very easy to use website. Come back to home and click on Policy and Advocacy. And this is something for which I'm proud of our organization and our state. We have a National Policy and Advocacy Center for CEC. Some of the professional dues that are paid go for lobbying work done in Washington, D.C. to make sure that we are at the table. As one of our leaders said, if you're not at the table in Washington, D.C., you're on the table. We've secured funding, regulation, statutory law, all kinds of benefits continued benefits from our past history for students with disabilities in our schools. If you sign up under Policy and Advocacy, even if you're not a member, you can receive any call to action from the National CEC. They don't do this very often, but they will send an email to your personal account or your school account and ask you to write your senator or congressperson to speak up on behalf of students with disabilities, and I think that's really important. As far as the Michigan chapter, I also happen to be the CAN coordinator, which is the policy and advocacy person for our board for our state. We are constantly working with our representatives and legislators in Lansing to also push ahead the state-controlled special education pieces. All of those pieces in MARS that you've been exploring, and the funding behind that, and the more current and pressing needs for our students with disabilities in K-12 schools, PK-12 schools in the state of Michigan. I encourage you at some point to become a member. There are some student discounts for membership. That's the last red arrow, the join button. We have a large conference in February every year here in Grand Rapids. That's one of the most valuable special education teacher and professional conferences in the Midwest. If you have any questions about the CEC, the standards, the Code of Ethics, and their work in our very laws for special education, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. Go check that website out and explore.